There are many people, many ideas that are out that are saying this is what is true. This is what is good. And some of them are good and some of them are not so good. And he said there is only one thing that is true. You must test the Spirit by the Spirit to know whether it is true or not. And what is the measure that he gives us to know if something is speaking of truth versus falsehood? 1 John chapter 4, verse 1. He reads, "Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits, whether they are of God, because many false prophets have gone out into the world." Now he gives us a test. He says it very clearly in verse 2. "By this we know the Spirit of God." You ready? "Every spirit that confesses that Jesus Christ has come in the flesh is God." There's the test. Now, what you will hear commonly throughout the world are people who say that Jesus came and he was a good man, or he was a great teacher, or he was a prophet, and he lived in his time and said wise things for his time, and then he died, and that's the end of his story. There are people who say, well, he was an angel. And then there are people who say, well, he never really came in the flesh. There's the Christ consciousness. Not to be taken literally, it's an idea. But John says, any spirit, anyone who says that Jesus Christ did not come in the flesh, you're not operating according to the Spirit of God. And if you're getting advice from anyone or anything that does not hold to this basic truth, you are not listening to someone who has the Spirit of God. It doesn't matter how good it sounds. It doesn't matter how much sense it makes. The Spirit of God will only ever testify of Christ coming. That's your test. This is the boldest of all dividing lines. Some people say we believe in the same Jesus. If you don't believe that Jesus is the Son of God and came in the flesh, then we don't believe in the same Jesus. It says in verse 3, "And every spirit that does not confess that Jesus Christ has come in the flesh is not of God. And this," he says, "is the spirit of the Antichrist, which you have heard was coming and is now already in the world." The spirit of the Antichrist is already spreading the message that Jesus Christ did not come in the flesh. He's already spreading the message that you shouldn't put your trust in this man who lived 2,000 years ago. He wasn't really God. He was somebody else. Maybe he sounded good. Maybe he was terrible. I don't know. That's the spirit of the Antichrist. "By this we know the spirit of truth and the spirit of error." So there's two competing things. There is the spirit of truth, which comes from God, and the spirit of error, which comes from the spirit of the Antichrist. There's many spirits out here. Do not be deceived.